Hello, everybody. I'm going to give it a few minutes to let everybody log on. My presentation was somewhat choppy. It was my first Zoom attempt to host. It was a little hard to get my files out. I have to figure out that properly. I'm going to have to practice Zoom a lot more. However, it went through. I got my presentation out, and I've won South Africa academic support. They think it's going to go very well. In fact, I was given uh, oh, Majilla, Jerry Majilla's phone number, his contact information. He's in New York. He's 2 hours ahead of me. I have his phone number for Monday morning. I have to phone that at 6 a.m. as he'll start at 8 a.m. New York time. And I'll talk to the office. I'll make sure to exchange that communication and the email that I'll present to all of you Sunday, should anybody want to get off of that list. But this is what's going to happen. So, truly tremendous. Like I said, it was a little bit choppy. I'm not very good at then it's tough with lives, you're nervous. And of course, the video sharing feature is. It was brand new to me. I've never done it before. So it was a great dry run. However, it was still well received and it was well understood. And you know what, Alberta? You would not believe the history of many African nations in absolute correlation with Alberta and Canada for that matter. You wouldn't believe the colonial exacts, especially in our education system, how we're educated in history. That was presented to me after my presentation. And you know what? They were absolutely shocked at what I shared. Literally, really, for real. They were shocked. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't even believe. They're thinking, oh, I would like to move to Canada. It's such a beautiful country. And they're like, what? And then they go through their education system. Like, that's how I went to school too, pal. That's exactly what they teach us in school. French and Britain, France and Britain, it's the exact same thing. You wouldn't believe colonized or decolonized countries going through this and going, oh, and we're still going through all this stuff. And they can't believe that these crown powers that I highlighted, I went and I used Bill C-71 federally, just done and put forward. They couldn't believe it. And they know those crown powers, those that should not be. And their constitutions have absolutely dismembered that and removed it. And they couldn't believe that there exists in Canada. And I'm like, it's likely in every province. I'm pretty sure it is. I just can't do all that work. But I highlighted federally C-71 done by none other than Justin Trudeau, Order in Council, Governor General. They couldn't believe it. And when I went through the terms, they were blown away, all in nice screenshots, and show each and every file as I go through it and explain it to them. And they more than understood. They get it because they have figured that out. All the countries of Africa have figured out, except for the ones that are still in colonization, trying to break free. And they commended me and said, I can't believe that nobody's gone to the UN before and you're going to be the first. They can't believe it. They commend me. They say, go for it. Yes, absolutely. You must do this, especially because of 2023. And they understand. Jerry knows that this will likely be my only opportunity with a nation that absolutely understands full well what Alberta's going through. Jerry, of all presidents you could ever have, besides, again, last Christmas while I was going through the UNSC, and it was Donald Trump who was the president of the UNSC in the same month last year before the election. Can you believe that? Of all two, like Christmas for me is always under the gun, under the wire, but we're getting it done. And I think, you know what, Jerry is going to do that if I can get a hold of him, which I believe I will. He's going to hear it. And not just Jerry. I have all the phone numbers of all the 5-member Security Council nations. So I'm absolutely Monday morning, after I talk to Jerry, after I exchange the email, the registered letter that all of you who've chosen sign on, that you'll get to see tomorrow. I'm going to take it a little easy tonight. I'm a little bit exhausted, to say the least, but I'll get up tomorrow. I'll make sure you all have that in preparation for Monday morning. And if anybody wants to message and say, hey, take me off, but I don't see why any of you would. There's no lie here. There's nothing being presented. You can look at every bill. All of these crown powers are there. I didn't write them. You didn't write them. But I guarantee all of you don't wish to have colonial power of our Constitution from 1867 being able to be usurped and utilized by elected officials so that they can put a crown on their head and say, I don't care what MP, what MLA you elected, we're going to make our own bills. We're not going to utilize any of them, so you have no one to be accountable to or hold to account. You're not going to have any of that. I'm going to make this bill, I'm going to roll it out, and that's your problem. This is C-71, your gun rights bill. There's even more, but I'm not going to overwhelm in the letter. We're going to target just, I believe, 7 fundamental human, civil, and charter rights and freedoms that are absolutely established in the UNSC, where absolutely the UN says, Canada, you can't be doing this. You agreed since 1948 this would not be reality. The UK has no idea about this. I guarantee you Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, besides scheduling visits every decade or so to Canada, has no idea in her name Justin Trudeau, Harper before that, and before that, and before that, all the premiers in Alberta, this one, before that one, before that one, before that one, ever implemented these things in her name. It's been a great tactic that we only know of one premier for sure who never used that power, but absolutely fought it tooth and nail, and that is Premier Eberhard, Social Credit Party. He is the only premier we know of in history, absolutely, to reject the crown colonial power, to fight back. And in fact, in history, clear recorded history, that crown power was used against him and every Albertan. He was blocked by Lieutenant Governor, and you're all going to see the bills where you read the whole bill, 162 pages, and at the very end is what I just showed Africa. It's all given to the Lieutenant Governor with full authority to take away all your democratic rights and hand it off right to the Prime Minister sitting, because they get to put on the crown power and say, I'm the King of Canada and I'm the King of your province. Jason Kenney has done this to us. Absolutely. It's in every single bill he created or amended, all 50 of them so far. Every single one. Jason Kenney is a Privy Council member. He knows full well the power. He knows Bill 21, this drunk driving one, it doesn't end there. That they carefully craft these bills, making it look like it's really important to all of you, and then they sneak in near the very end. We're going to call this Phase 3, Section for all of your rights over civil liberties. And we're going to take it away, and we're going to give that power to none other than the Lieutenant Governor, which gives Crown authority to none other than Justin Trudeau to take all your civil rights, which are not a constitutional power of the federal government unless you enact colonial Crown power that is illegal in the world today. That Canada agreed in 1948 that they would never use it again. However, they use it all the time. They carefully hide it in every act, bill. You'll find it in every single one. So far I have. I mean, I don't have the resources to go back through every single one. But every brand new legislation Jason Kenney's drafted and created, it's in every single one. Why would he put it in there? This is the reality of your Canada. This is the disgusting portion and the abuse that Alberta is to suffer until we are dead, dead, dead. They're taking all your civil, charter, and human rights. Share this, fight back, because I promise you, Monday is going to be historical, and Tuesday may be legend. It might be worldwide. In Canada and the provinces will never be able to operate the same way again. Let's hope, let's pray, let's hope it gets done. Thank you all. Please share. It's important. I'm going to get some rest. I'm tired. Bye now.